It seems Americans have finally found the cheapest therapy in the country. Not medication, not meditation, but simply not shopping anymore. That's right. After decades of being hypnotized by slogans like "Save money, live better," or "Prime delivers happiness," people are starting to realize they are getting less, while the profits of these corporations are higher than ever. Walmart, Amazon, Target, Best Buy, McDonald's, the five consumer meccas, are now considered the five symbols of bottomless greed. Americans are doing something unexpected, protesting with their wallets. Yes, the very people who used to scramble for Black Friday are now planning Blackout Week, turning off the lights, turning off their wallets, and turning off their faith. Are they truly awake, or are they just throwing a tantrum a few days before hitting the Add to Cart button again? Let's expose the five giants that are stirring up the entire United States. Let's start with the first familiar name, Walmart. Walmart was once a temple of middle-class dreams, where for just $0, you can leave the store with a cart full of goods. But now, $20 is only enough to buy a few snacks. That feeling, familiar yet painful, is the reason Americans are starting to close their wallets. In 2024, Walmart's profits increased by nearly 9%. Meanwhile, spending by the middle class, the backbone of the economy, fell to its lowest level since 2010. One side makes billions. One side struggles for every meal. It's no longer an economic problem. That's a moral crack. Walmart used to be proud of its slogan, "Save money, live better." But Americans are asking again, who is living better here? Because when cereal boxes get smaller, snack packets thinner, but the price stays the same, they call it shrinkflation. I call it the art of subtracting to increase, reducing inventory to increase profits. A subtle way to get consumers to pay more while they think they're saving. And have you ever looked at your shopping cart and wondered, why did I buy the same things today as always, but my wallet is thinner? That's Walmart's AI at work. The system is so intelligent that it knows how much you're willing to spend and adjust prices in ways you'll barely notice. Every penny is optimized. Every purchasing decision was influenced. Technology, once a boon for consumers, has now become a sophisticated weapon of greed. I'm not saying Walmart is bad. I just see it changing. From a thrifty friend to a cold-hearted profit machine. It still smiles at you at the checkout counter, but behind that smile is a balance sheet glowing red with shareholder joy. A father in Ohio said, "Every time I go to Walmart, I find myself paying more, but getting less, like being tricked by your own habits." That saying sounds simple, yet it's deeply touching. Because what Walmart is really selling is no longer goods, but peace of mind, a sense of familiarity, and memories of the time when cheap is real. Now Americans are reacting. They turned off the card, they left, they boycotted. No noise, no banners. It's just a quiet rebellion in an empty shopping cart. And perhaps that's what worries Walmart the most. Not the shouts of protest, but the silence of its most loyal customers. Cheap prices were once Walmart's sacred promise. Now it's just a beautiful memory in an economy that has forgotten how to live better. What do you think? Is Walmart just following trends? Or have they truly forgotten who the average American is? And if Walmart is the symbol of false cheapness, then the next one is the symbol of artificial convenience, Amazon. You know, Amazon was once called the miracle of the 21st century. One click, and the goods appear at your doorstep. The food, the toothbrush, even the book you're not sure you finished the first page. It all feels like some divine hand is at work behind the scenes. But then Americans began to wonder, is the price of convenience their soul? Because Amazon doesn't just deliver goods, it delivers your entire lifestyle. They know what you buy, what time you buy it, and even when you're not planning to buy anything. It is estimated that over 160 million Americans have Prime accounts. That means for every 2 adults, one is a colony of Amazon. And when an empire controls all the data, needs, and emotions, losing control is only a matter of delivery time. People used to praise Amazon for saving America from the retail crisis. Now they're blaming Amazon for driving up prices, squeezing employees, cutting DEI, and maximizing profits to the point where people have become expendable. The so-called fulfillment center, the order fulfillment center, sounds right because everything is fulfilled there. except for the joy of the workers. They promised delivery within 1 day, and they did it. It's a shame they also traded customer trust for profit. An expert once said, Amazon doesn't just sell products, they sell a sense of control. When you can't leave Prime, you've been bought. And that's the tragedy. We're not addicted to shopping, we're addicted to convenience, the feeling of having everything at our fingertips. Amazon understands this better than anyone else, and they've turned that understanding into gold. Do you remember when the Prime package started? $79 per year. It's now $139, and it could go up further. They say it's due to cost. I said it was due to ambition. Because every time the Prime price increases, Amazon stock dances, and ordinary people strain to maintain their fast shipping privilege. There's a funny but bitter story. An American tweeted that Amazon makes me believe in miracles because they can deliver the item I don't need faster than I realize I don't need it. It sounds funny, but it's also really sad. Because when convenience becomes a religion, we are kneeling before a God named Profit. Now Americans are reacting. They called for blackout week, they stopped buying, they turned off Prime. The most convenient and difficult austerity measure in modern history. It's not because they hate Amazon, but because they miss the feeling of making their own choices, rather than being led by algorithms to shop. Amazon has sold billions of items, but the most expensive item they've ever sold is consumer freedom. And you, what do you think? Will anyone really dare to cancel Prime forever? Or are we just throwing a tantrum at the convenient God we once worshipped? And if Amazon is the dictator of convenience, then Target is the two-faced politician of corporate ethics. At one point, Target was considered the good child in the tough world of retail. They support minority communities, fly rainbow flags every June, and showcase products from businesses owned by people of color, women, and people with disabilities. The customer proudly said, "I shop at Target because they believe in doing what's right." But then, in 2025, Target quietly retracted a series of DEI commitments. No announcement, no apology, just quietly taking down a few billboards, a few products, and a few promises. Americans are realizing the slogan "Target Cares" now sounds a bit ironic. According to financial reports, Target wants to reduce political risk and focus on its core customers. In everyday language, this means, don't let beliefs affect revenue, a cold but logical decision if you're a shareholder. And if you're someone who once believed in them, then it's a blow to your emotions. A woman in Minnesota wrote online, "Target used to be a place where I felt like I belonged. Now they just want me to be quiet and pay." It sounds light, but it's deeply moving, because Target was once a symbol of profitable ethics, a model for the era of conscious business. Now, as they pivot, it's clear they're not betraying anyone. They're just stopping the pretense. The good thing is that Target still maintains a friendly appearance. The store is still bright, the background music is still cheerful, and the staff are still saying, "Have a good day." But in that light, one feels emptiness, like a smile that has lost its soul. According to an internal survey circulating online, Target's brand trust decreased by 15% in the first 3 months of 2025 alone. It's not because the product is bad, but because buyers no longer believe the message. They say Target is like a politician. Today they promise justice, tomorrow they change for the voters. And that's the real blow. When trust becomes a commodity, betrayal is just a pricing strategy. Target once aimed for the hearts of customers, but it seems they missed the mark. Ironically, the slogan is, "Expect more." Pay less suddenly has a different meaning. Customers expect more, but receive less, both in their wallets and in their hearts. Americans didn't turn away just because a few products were removed. They turned away because they felt they were being manipulated. A generation that once chose Target for its value is now choosing to leave for the same reason. And the question still echoes. In these times, are right and wrong just temporary labels? But at least Target still maintains a veneer of morality. And Best Buy, they don't need any pretense at all. They optimize profits like an emotionless machine. There was a time when Best Buy was a haven for tech enthusiasts. Stepping into the store is like stepping into the future. Green lights, the sound of scanners, and friendly staff in blue shirts ready to help you choose a smart TV, smarter than you imagined. But that was the America of a different time. Now, the future at Best Buy still shines brightly, only people's hearts have grown cold. In February 2025, during the economic blackout campaign, the name Best Buy was mentioned directly alongside Amazon and Walmart. Why? Prices are up, wages are down, employees are being cut, and the CEO is getting a 200% bonus increase. A comical scene, a long line of employees queuing to leave through the back door, while in the conference room above, the stock just hit an all-time high. According to financial data, Best Buy's revenue in 2024 increased slightly, but its gross profit margin was the highest in 5 years. What does that mean? This means customers are paying more for less value. They blame the cost of components, shipping, and the supply chain. But strangely enough, costs rose slowly, while selling prices soared like an out-of-control drone. A man in Texas recounted online, "I bought a laptop at Best Buy, and before I even opened the box at home, I saw it online for $150 cheaper. I don't know if I'm sad or just feel outdated even before I turn on the machine." That's Best Buy of 2025, where best is no longer for the customer. And buy? Well, just buy it, and you'll understand what it feels like to be betrayed. Ironically, the brand that once proudly proclaimed, "Bring technology to life," now makes people exclaim, "Bring bills to life." They used to sell technology to make life easier. Now they sell frustration for over 20% more. And that callous soul is not a metaphor. That's how they see consumers, as numbers in a spreadsheet. No more, "How can I help you?" Just, "You can order online." One analyst described Best Buy as a life-size vending machine. You press the button, choose your item, pay, and then leave. No one looks you in the eye. No one cares what you need. Convenient, cold, precise, like a robot. I don't deny that the economy is tough, but perhaps the most frightening thing isn't the rising prices, but the way businesses turn people into costs and profits into reasons. A former Best Buy employee whispered, "Back then, we sold TVs to help people connect. Now we sell TVs so they can forget about reality." After hearing that, I just gave a sad smile. Because it's not just the story of a store. It's a mirror reflecting the entire economy, where technology is becoming increasingly intelligent, while human hearts are becoming increasingly automated. And you, what do you think? Is technology making life better? Or is it just making us pay a higher price to feel like we're keeping up? And if Best Buy is an emotionless machine, the next guy is America's most familiar icon, McDonald's, where greed is contained within a burger. When I was a child, McDonald's was a reward after every long day. A burger, a few slices of fries, a cold Coke. Simple, inexpensive, but as delicious as the American dream wrapped in golden paper. Now, that dream still exists. It's just that its price is rising faster than the speed of baking. According to statistics, a Big Mac combo now exceeds $15 in many states, the highest in the chain's history. Do you remember? A few years ago, with $15, you could buy 2 meals for the whole family. Now, I can only afford half a kilo of memories. In June 2025, social media exploded with the McBoycott Week campaign, a call to stop buying fast food for 7 days. Americans aren't angry about hamburgers. They're angry about feeling betrayed. What was once a symbol of everyone being able to eat their fill has now become a luxury for ordinary people. McDonald's cited rising raw material costs, increased rent, and inflation as reasons for the price increase. That sounds reasonable until you see that profit reports are still at their highest peak in a decade. What does that mean? That means prices are rising faster than costs. And that, my friend, is the formula for greedflation. A customer in Chicago shared, "I bought a Happy Meal for my child, but it felt like I was signing a microloan contract. It sounds funny, but actually, it's really sad, because McDonald's no longer sells fast food. They sell highly priced nostalgia. Each crispy French fry is now a souvenir bill from a time when America believed everyone deserved to be full. The irony is, the company says they serve millions of people every day. But what does it serve? It's not just a meal, it's a dose of dopamine, quick, convenient, and easy to forget. Americans don't just eat to fill their stomachs. They eat to temporarily forget the feeling that this economy no longer has a place for them. A sociologist called McDonald's the soundtrack of the American working class. I said, that's a song that's been pitched up to the point where even the songwriter can't sing it anymore. And take note, even the dollar menu, the menu for the poor, is now missing the item, a symbol betrayed by itself. If Ronald McDonald were a real person, he'd probably have to order from the dollar menu and then look around to see if anyone would pay for him. McDonald's doesn't just fry potatoes anymore. They're frying America's childhood memories, golden brown, crispy, and with a slightly bitter aftertaste. Do you remember the last time you ate McDonald's and felt happy? Or now, every time you order, you just wonder, am I being charged extra for trust? And if McDonald's is the symbol of the expensive fast food meal, then behind it must be a much slower disease, a disease called greedflation, which is silently spreading across the United States. There are new words born to define an era. For America today, that means greedflation, a combination of greed and inflation, a kind of inflation that doesn't come from war or shortages, but from the unlimited greed of corporations that are already too full. According to a Fed report, over 60% of the post-pandemic price increases did not come from raw material costs, but from businesses arbitrarily raising prices to maintain profit margins. In other words, when the prices of meat, milk, and gasoline have decreased, retail prices have remained unchanged because they know you're used to paying that way. And when consumers get used to suffering, greed becomes policy. One economist called it the invisible tax of corporate greed. An invisible tax that every American is paying, not through Congress, not through a vote, but through every swipe of a card. Isn't that ironic? An entire economy built on market freedom is being strangled by the very hands that are squeezing the market. I'm not saying all businesses are bad, but this system, it encourages greed, rewards optimization, and punishes anyone who stops to think about people. A CEO said, if we don't raise prices, the shareholders will be angry. Yes, and what if the people get angry? It's okay because they still have to eat, wear clothes, and live. That's the vicious cycle of the modern American economy. As costs rise, prices increase. When costs decrease, prices still increase. And when someone asks why, they will receive a lecture on self-regulating markets. But that market now resembles a casino more than a fair playing field. The big players have the right to make the rules, while the people are left with only two options: pay or retreat. In that crisis of confidence, the boycott movement was not just an economic action. It's a self-defense reflex, a way for Americans to say, I can't change the system, but I can temporarily withdraw from it. A silent rebellion, with wallets, with choices, with awareness. And that, perhaps, is the only ray of light amidst the darkness. When consumers realize they still have the right not to buy, they also realize greed is only strong when we continue to feed it. An old man once said at a small grocery store in Iowa, in the old days, America became great because everyone wanted to make something better. Now America is just trying to sell everything for more. That saying sounds simple, but it is the gentlest indictment of this era. It's not disease, confrontation, or crisis, but systemic greed that is slowly eroding the American dream from within. What do you think? Can greed be limited, or does it just change shape, disguising itself as efficiency, development, growth? And when everything has a price, is there anything truly valuable left? You see, we've passed Walmart, Amazon, Target, Best Buy, McDonald's. 5 names that were once the pride of America, now becoming a reflection of an entire era. But this story, it's not just about them, it's also about us. With each swipe of a card, each click of add to cart, we add another brick to the wall of greedflation. Perhaps the issue isn't just about price, but about value. We've become so accustomed to convenience that we've forgotten the price we pay. Our freedom, our choices, and even fairness in our own wallets. But hope still remains. Every time you choose a small shop, support a kind business, or simply say no to greed, you're sending a message. We understand, and this time, we won't be silent anymore. If you find this video thought-provoking, please leave your comments below. You think, can American consumers really change this game? I'd like to hear your perspective. And don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next analyses of what's really happening behind the curtain of the U.S. economy. All content in this video is intended for analysis, commentary, and public education, and does not represent or attack any specific individuals or organizations. All data and citations are based on public sources and reliable reports. See you in the next video.